What's up, beautiful? It's Lisa Roulette, and today I bring to you January 2022 Ascension Energies. These are different than the Ascension Energies that I released on Monday, which were for the whole of 2022. So if you didn't see that video, it would be a really good idea to go back and watch it because it is going to support you throughout the entirety of the year. Now, the major theme of 2022, if you watch the video, is that resources build resilience. So I will link that video in the description below, but that's one that you might want to binge on for a little bit so that you really start to understand what resources you're going to need to navigate the individual monthly energies as well. If you don't already know who I am an ascension guide, healing coach, and manifesting mentor. So if you're in the midst of your spiritual awakening, on a healing journey, or you're learning how to create your life experiences, you've come to the right place. Welcome to the family. So let's dive into January Ascension Energies. The key theme for January is to slow down. And I loved this. This was so well received by me, and I think it's going to be well received by you too. Traditionally, we are coaxed into really coming out of the gates with major goals and very powerful intentions come January 1st. And our beloved Ascension support team tells us we've got it all wrong. What we're supposed to do in January is reflect and get organized. We have had an entire year's worth of energy that has just culminated for us. And if we don't take some time to sort through those energies and to really understand what we're carrying into the new year, we're going to sort of be very sloppy about our manifestations. So what they're telling us is to use January as a time of reflection and a time of planning, which for me, thank you. I will take that because I did feel so much pressure and I didn't really feel like I had given myself a window of time to be able to reflect. Like I was trying to reflect on Christmas night. I was trying to sit by the tree, with my little glass of eggnog in my journal. And I was like, this is a disaster. My head is so not here. My heart is so not here. So when do I actually do this? And maybe that's why, they came in so swiftly with these energies like, hey, you know what? You're not supposed to do it during the month of December. Give yourself a break, sort of just let go, let down, let the energies come into your awareness. And that way, when you are ready to reflect and see what's there, you'll be in a higher level of awareness. Now, when we reflect on these energies, obviously what we're trying to do is to discern which ones we want to carry into 2022 and which ones we sort of want to leave behind or let go. And of course, it would be the higher vibrational frequencies that we want to carry forward and the lower vibrational frequencies to leave behind. Having said that, we can't always just leave behind lower vibrational frequencies because sometimes they're unresolved. If you can let go and just boom, literally drop it off like baggage, so be it, and all the power to you. But for some of us, it's not that easy. Nevertheless, the more aware we become of the energies we would like to leave behind, the more we give ourselves an opportunity to continue to work through those. Now, as we start to reflect on 2021, we want to look at our accomplishments. Now, many of you might say, well, I really didn't accomplish anything, but you did. You did. You absolutely did. If you made it through 2020 and 2021, you've accomplished a lot. A lot. We have all collectively been through so much. And if you were able to keep your head and heart high and you're coming to this video, I promise you have accomplished more than you think. And sometimes our accomplishments, we give ourselves this sort of very strict criteria for what an accomplishment is. Like for instance, meeting our financial goals or losing 20 pounds or meeting the love of our lives. Sometimes our accomplishments are just, being able to navigate the day with clarity. becoming more confident with our presence. And I don't mean our physical presence, but just our awareness. Using spiritual practices on a daily basis, managing our stress and our anxiety effectively without medication. I mean, there's the amount of accomplishments that we have are infinite. And I really encourage you to sit down with what you may have accomplished that you're not realizing that you accomplished. Those are the energies we want to carry forward, and we want to amplify in going forward. The energies that we would like to let go of, we can either drop off and leave in 2021, or we just become increasingly aware of them, that we still have some healing to do and we still have to transcend those lower vibrational frequencies. Now, the next thing that they want to remind us of is that it is very important to give ourselves permission to experience what we both need and want to experience. Permission is a very big word on the Ascension path. And the reason that is because we're not used to giving ourselves permission. Now, one of the primary things we need to allow or permit ourselves to do is to heal those wounded beliefs. And I know if you've been watching me, you're like, she's going to talk about it again. She's going to talk about beliefs again. I really, really am, because all of us are indoctrinated with a wounded belief system that no longer serves us. Remember, we all share the same 5 common core beliefs, and those are whether or not we feel lovable, deserving, powerful, worthy, and as if we're enough as we measure ourselves against the rest of the world. And so many of us don't feel lovable, deserving, worthy, powerful, and as if we're enough as we measure ourselves against the rest of the world. And the reason that is because we have been indoctrinated in some way to believe those things. Our education system alone is really a very powerful system. And I'm not discrediting it entirely. I'm just saying that it is set up to make you think that your accomplishments are based on your level of education. And that alone can make someone feel very unworthy, particularly if they had a learning disability and decided not to further their education in the traditional education system. So, and our society is just plagued with indoctrinated beliefs that don't allow us to progress and expand like we're supposed to progress and expand. So permission is a very, very big deal. Now, as you're looking at your beliefs, they also want you to start to look at your values. And I know I've said this in another video, I just can't remember which one. But values, remember, they form in a hierarchy. So a lot of times, let's just take relationships, for example. A lot of times we think, I know my relationship values. Love, respect, companionship, laughter, forgiveness, fun, and we go through this really wonderful, ideal set of values. But when we really dig deep and determine how we're living out those values, we see that we're not really living out the value system we claim to have. Most people put companionship before anything else in their value hierarchy chain when it comes to relationships, which is why we find ourselves in very challenging, difficult, and even toxic, painful, or abusive relationships. So beliefs and values, giving yourself permission to really change those, to heal those, and to determine what belongs to you and what doesn't. A lot of our beliefs and values don't belong to us. We were just indoctrinated with them. We never said, okay, these are mine. Remember, part of the Ascension path is taking supreme authority over your consciousness, which means that if there is a belief ingrained in your consciousness that wasn't formed by you, which wasn't intentionally formed by you, then maybe it's time to let it go. Most of our beliefs are formed by the time we are 7 years old, at a time when we don't even know how to provide for ourselves. So inevitably, your belief and value system is probably a little bit outdated, along with it probably not belonging to you. So the final thing that they want us to look at is our co-creators, right? Nothing is created in a vacuum. We need other people and things to co-create with. And now is the time during this month of January to really reflect on what kind of co-creators do we need, and whether or not our current co-creators are supporting us in the way that we need. For instance, for myself, I need more boundaries with my children. My children are amazing, but I give myself away to them. And it's not to say that they are like they're pulling on me in some way. It's just our energetic exchange is very imbalanced, and it's leading me to expend more energy on them than I need to at this point, because they're bigger now, right? They're 14, 11, and 17. So they can be more independent, but I really need those boundaries with my children because they are part of my co-creators. But for you, that might be co-creating with your spouse, or co-creating with your boss or your coworker, maybe finding new co-creators. So giving yourself some time to reflect on what you want to create, what you want to manifest, and then what kind of co-creators you need, along with, do you need to do any restructuring or reorganizing with your current co-creators? Remember, every single person in your life is a co-creator, right? Every single person in your life, whether it's the person down at your local convenience store, your barista, your boss, a family member, they're all co-creators. So be careful who you're mixing with, who you're mingling with, and keep in mind the assimilation factor. So whomever you're spending the most time with, you inevitably assimilate to their frequency. So I highly recommend that you start to find co-creators that can really lift you. These might be coaches, mentors, guides, doctors, someone that is slightly elevated in terms of vibrational frequency, or carrying a frequency that is high enough in a certain area of manifestation that you want to go into, if that makes sense. And you could be the same for another person. So you might be vibrating very high in terms of your physical fitness, but maybe not so high in terms of your business. So you're going to want to find a co-creator that can lift you into the vibration of a successful business, while at the same time, you may find someone who wants to co-create their fitness with you because you're just sort of that much more elevated in frequency. So give yourself credit. I'm not trying to put anyone down, but give yourself some credit for where you're vibrating, and don't be shy to ask for help. And that's what the co-creative process is all about. That's a wrap for this video, my friends. Thanks for joining. Don't forget to look at the links in the description of the video below. Come January, a lot of those are going away and a lot of new ones are coming in. And remember, stay in the luminosity of your beautiful light, and never forget that you are loved.